Hello and welcome back to another Red Door Sect Shinobi Striker build video. I'm Josh, a PC user and the owner of the YouTube page. I'm sorry for the lack of content in the past few days. I've actually undergone surgery, but that's big story, a lot of stuff for another time. Anyways, today we're going to be going through what the quickest build in Shinobi Striker is, and it's actually for attack type, naturally, due to them being the quickest class. Now, I'm not going to say that this is the fastest. It really all just depends on your playstyle and how you decide to use it. But this build has so many gap closers that you will be speeding around to wherever it is you need to be, or to whoever it is you need to be. Now, before we actually tackle the build itself, I just wanted to explain something really quickly. There's a big difference between quick and fast. Fast means that you're moving somewhere, at a high speed, alright, but over a long distance. And quick means you're able to move in a short distance at an exceptionally high speed. So this isn't the fastest build. You're not going to see anything that's going to help you cross maps or that's going to help you steal flags or anything. That would be like double Chidori type stuff for flags. No, that is fast. This is quick. This is going to close gaps and get you just moving around the enemy and upping your tracking, as it should be doing. Now that that's out the way, let's get to the build. It relies heavily on just closing gaps and side strafing your enemies, and otherwise just genuinely thinking faster than them, moving faster than them, and just acting preemptively. So let's check out what Sakura can show us. Okay, so we're using the buttoned outfit Black Crane. Obviously this isn't the Black Crane, so there isn't added or additional attributes given to my character. Here I'll show you the view. I modified it so the stuff that I'm using for this is lightning speed and out of thin air. Naturally, you don't have to use this, but you are definitely able to if you want. So let's go over what we have and why I'm deciding to use it. We have Paper Bomb Kunai. This is honestly just because I love the darn thing, and it comes onto the shop rotation actually really often. So if you grind hard enough and you just wait long enough, you're going to actually get it and it'll complete the build. Now, it doesn't matter what weapon you use as well. You can use hand-to-hand combat, you can use chakra claws, you can use the ice claws, you can use knuckles, doesn't matter. Whatever you're most comfortable with and whatever helps you, I guess whatever just helps you win the game. So let's go into ninjutsu. Flying Raijin level 2. It's tied to my left trigger because it's just more comfortable for me. You can tie them to whichever triggers you want, not like it actually affects anything. Flying Raijin level 2 is a gap closer. You throw a kunai at somebody, and if it manages to hit, it will actually slide you all the way over to them and you'll hit them with a Rasengan. The hope normally is that the Rasengan is going to hit, so what you want to do is try and make them use up their subs first. But even if it doesn't, you're still right in front of them now, so there's not much they can do afterwards. And secondly, you have Uchiha Shuriken Jutsu Oborogoruma. You can get this from Shisui Uchiha, and honestly, it's just one of the best attack abilities that you can have in the game. It has a short cooldown time, it gives you a huge buff, and its secondary attack is actually very lethal to folks like healers and tanks who might be using Sand Shield or Water Pillar. Not only that, it also cancels out their ability to use jutsus, which makes them a bit of a liability in a fight. Now, thirdly, I'm using Swift Step to use as a clone, but honestly, you can use whatever you want. I would just advise against using multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu, as if you're moving that quickly, since 3 Shadow Clones appear in front of you, you don't want to trip over those 3 Shadow Clones and it'll actually make you move slower. Like let's say somebody hits you and you sub right behind them, and you have 3 Shadow Clones in front of you and you want to try and close that gap by throwing a Flying Raijin. Well, then the Flying Raijin is going to accidentally hit one of the Shadow Clones and disappear. Just because that's how friendly fire will work in this game. You can't actually hurt your friends or anything, and your abilities don't actually work on your friends, but if you try and shoot an ability and you have it's like a small ability and you have a friend in the way, chances are it's actually going to cancel out, is what I've noticed. And then lastly, Kurama Link Mode. It just brings your health back fully, slowly regenerates you, and it boosts your movement speed by a ton. And that's really what you want. And it still gives you the ability to access the rest of your abilities, which is super useful. Because while things like 8 Inner Gates formation is very useful and strong and it can make you very fast, you don't have use of Oborogoruma or the Gap Closer Flying Raijin level 2, and those are honestly very pivotal to this build because the build is mainly in its power and not in its, you know, attributes. The build mainly resides in its ninjutsu rather than its attributes, is what I meant to say, sorry. So yeah, that's basically the build. Now, I'm going to run some tests. Just like last time, it's going to be a test in a quick match or in League, and then a test in a survival round for public. And, you know, then we're going to just see how well it works and if it really holds up to what I'm saying it can do. Now, if you like these videos and you want to see more of them, and you even have ideas for builds of your own, then drop a comment in the comment section below, check the description, join our Discord, and even message me. You know, that's fine too. Otherwise, give a like, give a subscribe, and I'll get on to the tests. Okay, so right now we're loading up into a match, and actually, funnily enough, I'm going to be keeping my speaking to a minimum when we're actually in matches, simply because I know that a lot of YouTubers are able to fight in game and speak and make it sound intelligent, but you know, I simply can't at the moment, not in such a fast-paced game such as this one. So I'm actually going to stay quiet during the entirety of the testing, and I'll just explain what happened later on. Alrighty, I'll see you later in the video.
Come on, let's go! No holding back! No holding back!
So you might have noticed I did far better when I was in a more secluded one-on-one sort of free-for-all type setting, and that's honestly just because there's no build out there that can beat, like, teamwork. If you're one person fighting two or three people, then it doesn't matter how good your build is or how good you are with the build, chances are you're not going to win that fight. Um, but in this case, as you saw with the survival match that I just went into, it was a free-for-all of six people, four of which were actually conscious individuals, and the other three got absolutely stomped by this build. It's a really strong attack build, and it relies a lot on being able to juggle your enemies, being able to be quicker than your enemies, moving past them, dodging their attacks, and just keeping them in loops. The second that you think that they're out of the loop, you set out a flying Raijin level 2 and keep them coming for more. Yeah, and that's why it's actually one of the quickest builds in Shinobi Striker. It is not the quickest build. I can't say that I've actually ever found a formula for the quickest build, but it is certainly one of the quickest builds. Definitely in like the top 3, I'd say. But obviously, as you know, if I find any more, then there's going to be a video made about them. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate your support, and I'd also really appreciate it if you guys dropped a comment of what you'd like to see. Just give a like, give a subscribe, and check out the Discord and the Instagram in the description below. Otherwise, we've been the Red Door Sect, and we thank you for coming, visiting, and learning. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.